We would like to welcome you for this episode of uh, the UCSSC. Actually, it's not an episode, it's another session of coaching education where we do upgrades on the standards on practical coaching. Now, one, for the purpose of improving our skills in coaching. Okay. And my co host for today is Coach Mark Rodriguez of USA. We have here the president of the United Countries Sports Management Council, Akib Khurshid from Pakistan. And we have here together with us is Leo Alianza of Thailand. Well, we're talking about upgrading sports coaches. Well, on upgrading sports coaching, on all sports, I'm emphasizing you need to have dual knowledge on being a bookish and being a practical coach. Bookish gives you high level certifications, commonly on bookish coaching. Okay? Now, sports science, periodization, injury prevention, practical, it's more of reading and evaluating what to do. On the practical side, reading athletes, reading athletes based on your experience, reading athletes on what to do. For example, oh, this kid is doing 40 seconds per 50. So this means if that's 40 seconds per 50, he goes for a 1040 on 800. Okay? If this kid is doing, that's for swimming, eh? If this kid is
So,
doing 130 per 100, that will be 22 minutes and 30 seconds for a 1,500. You're reading between the kid's performance on a short period that you know what will be the outcome on the long distance. So you're reading the athletes, adjusting on the spot. When you say adjusting on the spot, you're talking about this kid is actually, well, you don't normally in USA and other high level coaches, we don't give, hey, 10 days it's gonna be a recovery for you. No, you adapt on the spot. Okay, so adjusting on the spot is the most important thing for the kid. Even though that is, well, you're gonna be expecting that if it's a recovery kid, you're gonna be expecting limitations. Okay, but the kid should adjust on the spot. Okay, culture building. We're talking about culture building. The whole culture is, for example, serious, very serious, that you cannot even talk while training. Okay, that is a problem. Okay, if the kid, okay, doesn't know how to adjust, you as a coach, you also need to adjust. Okay, so it is either you emphasize that they're going to be adjusting on your culture, or you will be the one as a coach to adjust on the culture of the existing team. Now, professionalism. On the time, on time, you're not supposed to be having lates 365 days in a year. Sorry, that's professionalism. One time that you're going to be late, your athletes will be telling you, hey, coach, you're late also. Prepared plan. How can they respect you? The coaches, the coaching staff, the athletes. and the parents if they don't see you have that you have a prepared plan. Proper gear, clean language, kids kids really mirror your style. Okay, if you talk too much, definitely they're gonna be following you. Okay, the greatness of the coach is basically mirrored by the athlete. Growth plan. Every coach attends one clinic a year plus mentor. One junior coach is mentored by one senior coach. That's normal. That is normal for a senior coach to pass it on your knowledge. Have besides having an assistant coach which is reliable and loyal to you. Okay, so part of your growth plan is to have a good assistant coach that is really loyal to you. Okay, it's basically the second, for example, Dennis Cordero, the second Dennis Cordero. Okay, so every coach should attend clinic because you're showing them that you are not stagnant as a coach. You're supposed to be showing them that you're really upgrading yourself, okay, as a coach. The most important thing there is for you to learn more, endlessly learn more. Because, guys, 365 days of no knowledge will definitely, well, be stagnant. Okay? Wow, 365 days a year. You're learning 10 topics in a day. That's 3,650 knowledge, additional knowledge for you as a coach. Think about it. What's the advantage of having that? Okay? Then the next is the feedback loop. Well, you need to make it a point that you need to accept what others will say about you. Okay, and learn from that. This is what makes greater country programs 4 years ahead. I'll give you a good example, okay? I went to Tacloban, okay? My kid was actually getting into a school. Wow. My kid perfects all the exam. Why? Because the previous school was really dominant. Was really 4 years in advance. I tried to check. Wow. I'm telling you, my kid, which is that's now he's now grade two. Okay, what he's learning there on that school was way back what 3 years ahead. Well, 3 years ago. Wow, that's how advanced. That's how advanced is the current school. You're talking about what? This Chuang is basically guided by having his guidance in Xavier School. Xavier School is 1 million per year. That's how good it is. That's why, like me, I made an Olympian before. Okay, that was way back on my twenties, 30s. Okay, now I'm 50s. It's about more than 25 years of adding knowledge. It's really up to you if you wanted to be advanced or you wanted to be stagnant. So you're supposed to be 4 years ahead, like USA and Australia. They're 4 years ahead, okay, of other countries. More than 4 years ahead. Actually, I went to Japan, the 1996 swimming pool of Ultra. Wow, it was 1971 swimming pool of Japan in Tokyo. I went to Tokyo and I was amazed. Wow, they made the swimming pool at those years of 1971. See, think about it. You're supposed to be ahead. So written curriculum. In a school, normally they have a 365 days written curriculum of the school. What will happen to each day? Okay? From beginner to varsity, elite progression. No more guessing. It's basically written. You have the guidelines. The, that's that's supposed to be like that. If you don't have the curriculum or your program as a coach, wow. What will happen? Okay, gosh, I'm quite disappointed with regards to those who are highly paid and doesn't deliver. For me, Coach Mark just told me, "Why did you transfer? Just transfer it." Okay, Coach Mark just mentioned, "Yeah, Coach, there's a reason why I need to transfer." Okay, again, I transfer, I relocate again, I relocate again. If I'm not satisfied, I will relocate. Okay, because what? You need to make it a point that you know if it's gonna be a successful one or not. Okay? Now, standards and benchmarks. Swimming. How do you set your standards? It's a time standards. For example, okay, in palarong pambansa, in getting into the finals, you're supposed to be below 505 on a 400 free. You're supposed to be below 454 on a 400 free. That's an AQT, automatic qualifying time. That is your standards. Okay? If you wanted to be in the elite group, you need to set the standards. It's like that. Okay? Time standards. Now, stroke efficiency, okay, and dry land test. The stroke efficiency, wow. Okay, the national team, okay, you made 31 seconds on a 50 breast as a female. Okay, 31 seconds. Yeah, good. 31 seconds, but you're doing 34 strokes. But the second player was 32 seconds, but she's doing 22 strokes only. See? So the stroke efficiency scores, that the slower one, which is 32, is more effective rather than you're doing 31 but you're doing 34 strokes. Ooh. See? The dry land test. You can evaluate if we can pull up uh 40, 30, or only 5 pull-ups. That's that's your benchmark or standards. On all sports, check you have skill checklist. Athletes know exactly what this excellent looks like. You have on each sport, okay, like you're doing, okay, the football, like you're doing the basketball. You have your standards of how can you evaluate a better performance or a sluggish performance, or maybe you can call it a not improving performance. The next thing for the upgrade of the program standards is actually periodization. Off season, pre-season, in season, taper, recovery, planned, not reactive. Okay? You know, periodization is all about your intelligence as a coach. If you're not intelligent as a coach, you cannot even define pre-season, in-season, and tapering or recovery. Periodization always is the guideline that you know what to do. For example, okay, I am the father. Coach, can you show me what is your plan? What is your periodization for my kid? Now, if you cannot even show what is your plan for his kid, that's a big problem. See? Okay, you need to make it a point that you're good on periodization. Me, 2006, I made 17 national swimmers. 2000, 2005, I made 14 national swimmers for the C age group. By 2005, I made 5 SEA Games swimmer. And 2006, I made 3 Asian Games swimmer. That is your productivity of your greatness in your periodization. Normally, a national coach qualifies one, two, three, or four swimmers. But me, okay, I made it a point. I'm showing that my intelligence is enough, okay, to beat any coaches. Then that shows 17. I was actually taken off by politics in swimming, 2006. But the team manager says, how can you explain taking off Dennis Cordero in the national team? And your head coach, okay, is only three swimmers. And Dennis has 17 swimmers. It's very humiliating. They taken me off in just 1 hour, they pulled me back. This is very humiliating. Okay? Greatness of periodization shows your intelligence, okay, as a coach. Data tracking, attendance, performance, and injuries. You need to make it a point that the attendance will definitely be a big factor for the development of the kid. So data tracking is so important. So be sure that, you have some complaint, give me a date, show me your time card, show me your data tracking. Okay. Now, before you complain of your slow developments or not basically improving, well, show me your attendance first. Okay? Simple. Next is in the integration study. Okay? Study of performance, back and competition results, top of the podium. System integration, okay, if you studied something for the best of the kid, okay, anything that you see that will benefit the performance of the kid, you can integrate it. Okay? So anytime, whether you have plans already, okay, if you see it will help develop the kid, system integration, you can get in. We're talking about upgrade of environment and culture standards. Okay, if you see that this is really very important, okay, non-negotiable, non-negotiables, effort 100%. Respect, academics first. Well, you need to emphasize also that they're studying. Three strikes. You need to make it a point that they are studying. Don't make it a point as 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 an athlete. Okay, so they study. Okay, so the coaches, the assistant coaches. Okay, if they are not on your standards, they don't know how to respect. They don't give 100% effort. Sorry, simple. I know this one. Then this is one of the reason why I go out of the team. Okay, because if the parents and the swimmers doesn't give 100% effort, doesn't respect, and academics was out, not really delivering good in academics, facilities clean, organized, equipment's ready, excellent level, feels professional. You wanted to be in a market or you wanted to be on the high standards? If you wanted to be in the market, you end up, wow. Gosh, great athletes doesn't accept low standards of this facility level. Great athletes wanted to get in to your team if you have really good organized equipments, excellent levels, and feel like a professional. Compete up. The schedule tougher teams, tournaments. You grow by losing to better teams. Okay, if you compete on a D1, D2, D3, okay, better for you to choose a better competition rather than a lousy competition. If the kid goes on I'll give you a good example. My kid is prepared for Olympic qualifying. She can drop from 237 to 233. But who will pull her? Who will pull her? She went in Malaysia, gold, 235. She went in Singapore Olympic qualifying, gold, because nobody was really fast enough. So my regret was for my kid to go for a tougher competition. If there's tougher competition, I am not after for the gold. I'm after for her to develop her time. I was hoping that there was a 231, so even a 233 can qualify her for Olympics. See? So tougher competition gives better performance. Next, parent aligned. One seminar per season is our standards. That is very important. Okay? For good teams, it's coaching education is the most one of the most important thing. Upgrade the athlete's outcome standards. Measure more than medals. Old standards, upgraded standards, win games, improve PBs, character show-ups, lead, academic strong finish this season, healthier and ahead of life. Wow, God, can you be like the summa cum laude of UP? Okay, summa cum laude of UP, University of the Philippines, and at the same time, she is one of the superstar of the Philippine team. See, but mentally, if they're academically strong, and that's a really good athlete because he's intelligent, and the mental aspect of an athlete is one of the biggest asset of the team in the national team. It's like that. Target outcomes. Athlete on honor roll, athletes getting scholarship. Who will, okay, getting better performance shows that red carpet will be given to you as a full scholarship offer from one school. That is the common thing that happens. Normally, it's a 90-day rollout plan for your team. Number one is foundation, set standards, write the coaching standards. Well, if you don't have coaching standards, you end up what? You're guessing? You're guessing. We're ever guessing. Set five programs, non-negotiable. Well, you need to set standards that you you have a guideline for the kid to catch up. Okay, that's a set of five programs. Now, month two, systems, install curriculum, template, starting, tracking, run. Okay, for example, you're a runner. You're a runner. Your warm up should be at 400. For example, 230. Okay, that's the slowest. Minor should be at least 150. Okay, 400 at 150. Main should be, for example, 3 by or 5 by 400 at 140 or 130. Okay, so that is your system installed for the whole year. Okay, so your data, if they can catch up or not. Okay, next is the culture. Athletes contract, parent meeting, host, compete. The culture you need to set, okay? The culture that, for example, ordinary competitions. We have, after the competition, we have training the Monday morning. See, you don't accept that after the competition, they're going to be having 2 days break. No way. Okay, that is the culture. Okay, simply we'll simplify it like that. The most important thing for you to set on upgrading your skills as a coach on all sports, mostly on speed and endurance sports. You need to have complete guidelines to upgrade the next year. You have your 2026 guidelines, you have your 2027 guidelines to upgrade it. Without the guidelines, you cannot upgrade. Without the guidelines, you don't have measurements. Without the guidelines, you don't have anything as a basis for improving. Okay? Because that's that's what you did.